welcome back, everybody. This week on the episode of the podcast that nobody listens to, Charles, we have Paul with us. Paul has his own podcast. You like to plug yourself? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's me and my homie. We're Army vets. It's my name. His name's Chaos, aka Mike. Mine's Paul, aka PR. It's your Heat Check podcast. You can catch us on any streaming network. We're just two guys talking crap 90% of the times, and we throw a little sprinkle of sports in there to make it funny.
There you go. He's
Nice.
saying Charles. Yeah, more successful than Charles and I, just literally ranting about everything and getting yelled at by everybody on Twitter, Facebook, and now YouTube apparently hates us as well. So
listen, if people are not hating, you're not doing it.
That's
exactly.
what I'm saying. Bro, I was fighting Deion Sanders crowd yesterday, or maybe the day before. It was like all day, dude. All day, some new Kool-Aid drinker showed up and was like, no, it doesn't taste like strawberry. It tastes like raspberry. And I'm like, dude, you're all drinking fucking Kool-Aid anyways.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah. I was like, you fucking beat an unranked team. And everyone's like, they were 17. I'm like, this isn't even an argument. They're not 5. They're not 2. They were fucking 17, and they were only 17 because they were last year's runner-up.
Here's the other
my issue. Go ahead.
But you're good. You go ahead.
This is my only issue when it comes to these rankings. For me, I feel like rankings shouldn't get plugged into maybe 2-3 weeks after the season starts. Because the scenarios like this, you saw what happened with Clemson, you saw what happened with LSU. It's like you can't just tell me because of what happened last year that, hey, I'm gonna put you in the top 25 because you were great last year. Now, that's not every team, because Alabama, Georgia, those teams clearly are top tier almost every year. But you got teams like Clemson, LSU, how they were top 5. I don't understand.
For as long as they were, yeah, I agree. It's like they bottled Trevor Lawrence perfume and just went into fucking Clemson potential houses and was like spraying this shit.
This is
what Trevor Lawrence smells like. And everyone's like, all right, let's go to Clemson. That's the only explanation I have for it.
Oh, there's that one. The other one I was going to get into is the fact that I was reading on Facebook, and I know it's Facebook, and there's a lot of bullshit. But
sometimes there's the truth, man.
But they're going to get in deep shit over this Deion Sanders, the 1.5 million that they're out there throwing around. They're going to get this poor Hunter kid suspended because they keep talking about how much money was thrown at him. Dude, you can't. That's not how NIL goes. You can't just give a guy 1.5 million. You got to sponsor him or pay have him do some. The poor kid is, they threw money at me. Okay, are you outing Alabama, or are you just outing like the whole system?
I would not be shocked if this ends up becoming like the University of Florida Urban Meyer situation.
Yeah,
I would just not be shocked just because of, I don't know. It feels like it's the same slippery slope that we were watching in the early 90s.
Was it Florida State or was it Texas that gave the kid a Lambo? Like he gave one of those guys like a Lamborghini.
I'm sorry, not Florida. The University of Miami situation with what's his face there, the little tiny short dude who was just balling money out to the entire team. It was the 30 for 30.
What?
Shakur or somebody.
I must have missed that.
Did you not see that Miami 30 for 30?
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Oh yeah, you gotta go watch it.
The
it's
30
well worth it too, man. You'll be stuck the whole time. It's like
I'm not against athletes getting paid. I've even before the whole thing started and when it was going into court and getting battled out and all that stuff.
Yeah.
My thing is these athletes, even if it wasn't getting paid millions of dollars, regardless, these athletes should get paid something. One, especially the ones that are like superstars for your preferred sports. Because yes, there's some schools that have basketball as their preferred sport, whatever the case may be.
Absolutely.
These athletes are still putting the time in to make sure that these schools shine by putting their talents and your school's name on their chest.
Yeah.
And they're making you billions of dollars, and not just the school, the NCAA as well. So the least they could do is cut me a little check. At least I'm getting fed, my apartment's paid for, my car's not running on the side of the road on fumes, something to maintain. If you want it to be like, I don't want you to seem like we owe you millions of dollars, but at least sustain me then.
Absolutely.
We're making
We both agree on this one. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Now, should the students be flaunting out that they're getting paid from the school millions and millions of dollars? You probably shouldn't do that.
No. And emails we've gotten back too about, hey, coming and hanging out on the show.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're not going to ever out that football player, but I reached out to a student. Let's just call him a student athlete for a major school, and the dude hasn't touched a rock yet for this team. And his ass is riding the pine right now, and he wanted $5,000 to come on a podcast, and I said, "Bro, I ain't got no $5,000 to give you to come on the podcast." I
What
said,
do you
"But
think we are?
yeah,
I got hobby boxes to buy. That dude's fucking crazy.
sports card
Do
collection."
you know us regular folks could do a lot with $5,000?
$5,000. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's all right.
Fuck. My dog's gonna go get surgery now. That's what's gonna happen.
You are not that important.
No. Oh man. NFL week 1's around the corner. And I don't know if we can even say around the corner at this point. I think the bitch is staring at me on the shitter.
Yeah.
We got tomorrow at 7:20 p.m. Eastern, Lions at Chiefs. Now, there's been a lot leading up to this game, including Travis Kelce,
I broke that the second it happened last night.
You know the frustrating thing about that? Because I drafted him in 2 of my leagues. That's my first round pick.
I won't say nothing.
When I say I wanted to punch the screen,
dude, you're reminding me of that meme right now. It was earlier this morning, and it was like this raccoon on the freeway on somebody's hood, and the words were, "People who drafted Travis Kelce in the first round right now," and the raccoon threw its hands up and just jumped off the hood, like into
just
traffic.
throw me off the bridge.
Oh man. I don't expect to see him week 1. I don't. Even if the injury is okay, do you risk the rest of your season with Travis Kelce on week 1 Detroit Lions? Week 1, anyone. Week 1, Baltimore Ravens. Who fucking cares? Cincinnati. Who cares?
Can you name 3 players on offense other than Mahomes for Kansas City? You can.
Yeah, because they're on my bench.
However, just because I can name them does not mean they have the star power that's going to bring the offense, the threat that Travis Kelce is. Because Pacheco's good. Tooney's all right. I forgot the other receiver's name. He has 2 last names. I can't get it off the tip of my tongue.
Marquez, Valdez, Scantling.
Like they're okay. And then the fact that the chance that you don't have Travis Kelce and you're going to rely on your backup tight end that probably hasn't seen that many catches since he's been in the league to carry that load is that hurts. And then you're already missing Chris Jones on the other side of the ball. So it's like you've got 2 of your biggest threats on each side of the ball missing. From Mahomes, can he make it? Can he make magic?
I think so. Running around. Don't be running around. Just toss the ball over to Pacheco. Let him go.
Yeah, please.
That's a valid move. He's on my league too.
He's on my RB1 right now. Yeah, I'm super excited in the fantasy sense that Kelce's down. Not on my team, which means Pacheco is going to be seeing a lot of game 1 action. But this is funny that we're talking again about Patrick Mahomes not having a weapon. It feels like the same conversation last year when they lost Tyreek Hill.
Correct.
And I mean, outside of hearing Tyreek Hill scores for Kansas City, I don't think Kansas City missed Tyreek Hill all that much.
All the guy does is win.
You've got Andy Reid. Exactly, Pat. All they do is win. You've got Andy Reid on the sideline. Hell, what did he do with what's-his-face off the bench? They're going to make a movie about it, too. Matt Castle. Didn't Matt Castle have to come
Was it Cassell?
Or was one of those?
Either way,
I mean, or it wasn't. I think it was that redheaded fool. But regardless, you got Andy Cheeseburger, fucking Andy Reid on the sideline, who's already got ketchup on his game plan for tomorrow.
Yeah,
I gotta trust in Andy Reid and Patty Mahomes. They've proven that they can. The Detroit Lions are a media sensation to me. They're all about last year, and every year in the NFL, even more so in the NFL than college, is way different.
Yeah, but they've got that false hope. They've had that false hope for since the beginning, since they won that title before they were even in the NFL. The Lions have had the hype train. And
I
it's just
feel
because of
like
free.
I bet against Patty Holmes last year when I'm pretty sure 99% of the people of this world, as soon as they saw Tyreek Hill getting traded away, a lot of
Yeah.
people were like, this is not going to work anymore. Travis Kelce and Patty aren't going to make it. And they shove it down all our throats last year.
Absolutely.
Hard. And
There's gonna
so is there going to be a decline? There possibly could. There's always
agree.
that potential of it not having Kelce out there. And
Yesterday,
the momentum that the Lions have is ridiculously high right now.
yeah, their ceiling is
there's a
high.
lot of smoke there, though.
Very
I'm just thinking. Where are the mirrors? Are there mirrors? We're gonna see tomorrow. We'll see
Yeah.
tomorrow. Absolutely.
And for the Lions to have the starting game of the season against the Super Bowl champions, that means that the NFL is like, we got to get behind this somehow, some way, and ride this coach train.
And I mean, at Kansas City, they're playing at Arrowhead City, which is not
loud.
a walk in the park. It's going to be
No.
loud. It's going to be rough. Yesterday, I believe we gave our predictions for this game, and I said Kansas City was going to win by 14.
And I took the Lions because I'm stupid. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I think with Kelce being gone,
That changes
I
things.
still think Kansas City wins by 10. I think Kansas City wins by 10 by touchdown and a field goal, not 2 touchdowns. I think that Patrick Mahomes makes up that production of that offense. He'll find somewhere else to throw that ball. I got to trust in Patty. Old Patty is proven.
It's hard to bet against Patty. Like, you don't want to.
I would rather be wrong against Patty
But my gut
than
says
right
the Lions.
against the Lions.
And as much as I'm a Bears fan, I don't want to go for the Lions.
Yeah.
But in this situation, that team is a little bit scary, but is it scarier than Patty Mahomes' team?
You know what was really scary too? Bats. And then recently I found out that bats are actually cool, right? Because all the smoke disappeared. I'm telling you, the Lions are kitty cats. They are a 9-7 at best team. A 9-7. It does not win the NFC North. I don't
No,
think.
but
it wins
9-7
the NFC.
is probably good enough to get you in the playoffs in the NFC.
It possibly could.
And that's
Wild
the sad
card.
thing.
Yeah. And would I want to play the Detroit Lions in the playoffs? No.
I think that all those teams in that division are all going to beat each other up this year. There's not really one team that's going to stand out and be like, yeah, we're going to win 13 games or 14 games.
I can see Minnesota being on the bottom of the division. I can just see it finally coming to a halt.
With Jordan
I think
Addison.
the only other worst division I feel is the NFC South compared to the North right now, because we're all over the place. There's no real true mean contender in the NFC North. Like, we're not scaring anybody for say, but at the same time, somebody has to win.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the first time as an adult football fan, the NFC North is a coin flip across the table. It's crazy. There's a lot of expectations on both sides.
Yeah.
A lot of expectations of nothing, a lot of expectations of glory. It'll be fun to finally see it pan out.
It's going to be weird not having Aaron Rodgers in the NFC North. I can say it's going to be hella weird.
I don't speak Spanish. Oh, you're talking about Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah.
We went over this. I don't know, Paul, you never got to go over this with us. I wanted to bring this up too. Charles and I went over it, I think, about a week ago. The Aaron Rodgers video where he's already back to doing his cursing at every other person on the team except himself, taking responsibility, and he's doing the old where you should have went that way. You're supposed to go that way. He's already yelling at his players. He hates his offensive line. He's calling them fat and slow. Come on, man.
It's a creature of habit. The man is just...
He's a fucking diva.
Look at his contracts. His contract speaks for themselves. Look at the man.
He is going to be on the Real Housewives of New York.
Oh God, we had to see him.
He might make an appearance. Who knows? That would be something right there.
Fucking shocked.
Charles, I wanted to bring this up too. So there's 2 college football games that Vegas blanked yesterday when they loaded what the hell was it? The Colorado-Nebraska game was taken off for 3.5 minutes yesterday in Vegas on the board. And there's a reason behind it, and they won't say what the reason was. And the line never changed. So I'm thinking what it was, it went from 3.5 to 3. but it was so quick that nobody even noticed it. Now that half point, I'm not a big gambler. I have no idea what that would save you anything. I guess it just means if they win by more than a field goal. But there's 2 games. It was the Nebraska game, and then the NC State and Notre Dame game got taken down as well.
Really?
The line changed on it. Notre Dame was 6 or 6.5 point favorites. They're up to a 7.5 point favorite now.
They're
On the
number 7, I think, in the college poll right now, Notre
Yeah.
Dame. I think that's ridiculous.
They're 13th.
13th?
13th.
Okay, cool. I
Yeah,
think
there's-
I may have seen that bullshit ESPN number then.
Those were the power rankings based off of the RPI.
Yeah,
strength
But the
schedule.
actual AP polls got them at 13 right now.
Yeah.
Okay. That's more comfortable. I did see little C came in at 22, so that'll be fun. I'm excited.
So
The,
let them
the,
have
the
it.
Nebraska game's finally going to be exciting for once. Let's throw that out there.
They're going to get a little commotion.
Fucking
Yeah.
Nebraska game's going to be exciting.
And then this is the crazy thing because you got Matt Rule and Deion Sanders in their first years in their new places, and it's
Wow.
it's going to be crazy for Nebraska to finally get some attention outside of they usually just lose all the time.
Yeah.
Did you see the TCU linebacker coming out and say we're the laughing stock of college football?
Well, yeah,
like,
Yeah, they're
Sure.
TCU's linebacker. He was in the national championship game last year. He's like one of the returning starters. He goes, "Yeah, we're the laughing stock of college football." He goes, "Because we lost." I'm like, I don't really think that. I mean, you guys, neither one of you have a defense. It had nothing to do with you guys losing.
Defense was non-existent.
It was
Yeah,
a Big 12 game, wasn't it? I keep saying it. I think it was a Big 12 game.
theory,
It felt like a Big
I
12
guess
game.
technically it was a throwback Big 12 game, but
Yeah, hell, I felt like RG3 was out there with Baylor. That's exactly what it felt like. I'm like, holy shit, Baylor put up 90 again. Yeah, but on that shit fucking school that dresses in purple.
Speaking
I
of
don't know.
Baylor lost it. That was a
Texas
bigger
State.
loss. That was a bigger upset for me than seeing Colorado beat
You
OT.
lost to Texas State.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you walk around Texas, nobody even knows Appalachian State, but they're going to remember Texas State.
Like the only thing I know Texas State for is that it's a party school. They're not known for nothing in Texas outside of drinking and parties. And the fact that Baylor's supposed to be this powerhouse school and you lose
Yeah.
week 1.
That was the thing too. They lost their starting quarterback, but you should never have lost regardless. That was like the equivalent of Illinois losing to like Champaign, whatever the hell that school is down
Some
in Champaign.
JUCO college or
some JUCO
D2.
college down there. Yeah.
So Brock Purdy.
That is a beautiful man.
This dude is the 49ers are favored against the Steelers right now. Going into Pittsburgh. Brock Purdy.
I'm like, they're the more complete team out of the two.
Yeah.
They stack up way better.
Yeah. Or is this George Pickens and Kenny Pickett's breakout game? Is that a storyline we could see come Monday? Kenny and George.
I just don't see them tearing up that defense.
I know it. I know it.
Did they ever get a running back, or are they still stuck with?
They still got Najee Harris.
They still got Najee Harris.
Yeah.
See, I remember when we're Michigan fans. I remember when he turned Michigan down to come there, and he went to Alabama instead. That broke my heart. I wanted him to come there so bad. Ever since then, I called him the other guy for the Steelers. Jerome Bettis was always, for me, that was it. He was the guy. I loved watching him run the football.
Yeah,
you know, the bus.
I don't see Pittsburgh being able to outplay that defense, and then I guess it's going to have to come back to quarterback play since they're both technically still green and still new.
Yeah.
Purdy
But
is just Purdy's a
games. 6 games under his belt. Game manager Purdy. Year 2, dropping dimes. Kenny Pickett,
and he has the weapons. And I'm like, I don't see the Steelers outperforming them enough to make a difference. I
think this is a time where George has the ability to show people he is more talented than Jefferson. I don't think he's a better football player right now, but I do agree with Ryan Clark on this. I think Pickens is a more talented player than
Right.
Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson has the height, the athleticism. He's got the catch.
But who
Pickens
are you
is a
drafting
baller.
first?
Jefferson.
You just contradicted yourself. Like,
I know talent is not going to get me fucking points on a goddamn fantasy team here. All right, you just,
I need that skill set.
you know? I'm looking for points. All right, this is what kind of PR league here, Rock.
I need them touches. I'm like, is Pickett a good? He's good, but I'm like, when you put them side by side, Jefferson's gonna get you those off the wall catches, and just again, especially in fantasy with those PR leagues, he's gonna get those touches and the points after catch. He's just gonna stack up your points. It's just.
I've got Pickett on my bench and George in my starting lineup. We'll see what happens.
Something that I guess, go.
No, I was just gonna agree with him. That's the way you should set it up.
Yeah.
And I just been looking over this. I drafted Matthew Stafford as a backup quarterback, and I was like, man, have they not fallen from grace? And I know it's because they're handcuffed right now with the salary cap and stuff. They got so much money committed, but man, the freaking Seahawks are almost 7-point favorites over the Rams. Like that, I never would have thought that would happen.
Geno Smith, you know that, but that's what happened. That's usually what happens when you buy a Super Bowl.
When you go all in.
Yeah, which is exactly what the Rams. We just don't normally see it this bad because most teams don't actually win that fucking Super Bowl.
It's a mortgage that always comes due. You always got to pay it at some point.
Yeah,
and
even the
give up all those
Dream Home in
draft picks.
Starfield.
Yeah,
they did too. They gave up that draft capital.
A bunch of draft capital, so you're stuck with what you got and whatever you can pick up.
Hell,
here and there.
How long do the Cowboys hold on to Trey Lance?
I still don't understand that trade.
I don't understand either.
It made no sense to me.
If you don't trust in Dak Prescott, does it then make sense?
But even then, you just paid.
Yeah, it's big time. So
we lost our guest there.
Hey, he'll come back on.
He'll come back.
Yeah, no, I don't honestly, I don't get it either. To me, that's a weird.
Jerry Jones is a rich idiot, for one. We've got to stop putting common sense on Jerry. He just paid people because he doesn't want other people to have them. He did it with Ezekiel Elliott. He did it with fucking hell. The only person he didn't do it for is arguably the person he should have fucking did it for, and Jimmy Johnson.
We'll give him credit though. He's a dedicated owner.
Apologize.
Oh, you're good.
My dog ran over my stuff.
Yeah. So, anyways, as we were saying, so the trade didn't make sense, but does it make sense if you don't believe in your quarterback? And then you were about to say,
you just paid Dak all this money a couple years ago. That is, and not a little bit of chump change. You paid him quarterback money, and
Ezekiel Elliott plays for the New England Patriots now too, though.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm
is
like,
that just a Jerry thing?
I'm like, Jerry, I feel like Jerry doesn't know what he's doing 90% of the times, and I'm tired of him making football decisions that just don't make sense.
Yeah,
and
it's like the Ford family 2.0.
It just doesn't make sense. I'm like, I get you want to have a competent quarterback behind Dak. I get that. However, it's just like, one, I feel bad for Trey Lance because he got served a shitty deal with this whole last couple of years with injuries that he couldn't, control. And now he's getting dealt to a team that technically doesn't need you unless something happens to Dak or they lose, like you say, lose trust in Dak. And then you have somebody with a potential. But it's until that day happens, you're just going to sit there and do what? But who lost more, the Cowboys or San Francisco?
Oh, San Francisco wins.
Do they? Because they gave up a lot to get Trey Lance and got nothing in return for him.
Got nothing in return.
I was going to bring up a crazy stat. Do you know how many backup quarterbacks off the top of your head the Detroit Lions are carrying going into the season right now?
5.
Yeah, they're the only team with 5. Every other team's got
random
3.
ass guess. That was the most random number.
They got 5 backups.
Yeah, they got because they drafted.
Dude from Tennessee, Hooker from Tennessee,
Bridgewater.
Teddy's on the league. Wait a minute.
Nate Sudfeld, Jared Goff, and then there's one on the IR that I can't find, but I know he's on there.
That is, I thought,
but 5 QBs.
They've got to have a 5-page Wildcat playbook.
But this is Detroit, though. Are we surprised with the way that they do
I'm not.
personnel. For
If
the
it was any
longest, they
other team,
drafted
I'd-
receivers for 3-4 years straight,
Yeah.
just receiver after receiver after receiver.
just
Now
so
they're just
Green Bay couldn't.
banking quarterbacks now.
Just so Green Bay couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I
man.
don't know what the Trey Lance is going to end up as, but I hope whatever that looks like, the kid gets a break somewhere, whether it's in
I would-
Dallas or somewhere else.
Hey, I'd like to see him start a game for Dallas. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I guess if Dak throws it to the other team like 16 times this year and they start off 0-4 or 0-5, we'll see him.
The way he was throwing it in training camp, listen,
Did you see the training camp videos? They
Trey
go,
Diggs
oh,
was lighting him up.
wasn't it Dak? They go, Dak is in midseason form already. And they show
Man.
like 5 throws.
He may be getting a shot sooner than we think then if he keeps going this route.
That's true.
Or Jerry Jones is one of the smartest people we know. Check this scenario out.
All right.
Arizona at Washington could very well be the deciding factor on who gets the number 1 draft pick this year. And this is week 1, right? What if the Dallas Cowboys trade Trey Lance to Arizona for their number 1 or 2 draft pick? Because that's just something fucking Arizona would do.
At this point, they would trade him for Kyler Murray probably because that's Arizona.
But Kyler Murray just wants to play Call of Duty. But I'm telling you, Trey Lance,
That's true.
Trey Lance would trade for a top 10 draft pick to one of these struggling teams in need of a quarterback, and it could be future draft capital for the Dallas Cowboys.
Because if you don't need the first overall pick, because 9 times out of 10, if Caleb comes out, it's going to be him. And he's already talking about that if Arizona has the number 1 pick, he's probably going to stay at USC for one more year.
Isn't that sad? Yeah.
But I'm like, if you're Dallas, if that scenario were to work out and somehow you land the top pick in next year's draft, that's huge for Dallas because now you could trade that for some potential players or more draft capital for the future years.
Maybe there's a little Frosted Flakes inside this crazy ass bowl of cereal.
Maybe Trey Lance is a secret bullet that we don't know about, that Jerry
don't
Jones
know
is
about.
holding it for later on in the year.
And he got it for a 3rd and 4th round draft pick or some shit.
Jesus
You know?
Christ.
Trey
For the-
Lance could become that story. He could become that dude who's just got traded for draft capital 15 times his first 5 years in the league.
and
3
still
first-round picks. I can't believe that.
and
3
didn't
of them.
even last 2 years.
And
No.
it hasn't lasted.
And you've only started 4 games in your whole 3-year career.
Now, arguably, he looked pretty good until he got hurt.
And this is
You-
Mike Shanahan's system that makes anybody look fantastic.
Fantastic.
That's
yeah,
true,
but
because-
you're fucking Arizona. You put all in on Kyler Murray. You're going to go. Trey Lance is way better than Kyler Murray. He's got to be.
Can I tell you something that never made sense to me? Charles and I collect the sports cards. We got into it this year. Like our old ladies are like absolutely hate us because we're spending so much freaking money. But here's the thing, Charles, I was telling you this, Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, his football card came out, and I kid you not, how did they know that this guy was going to be something? Because that card was only made so many cards or whatever. Anyway, his rookie card, that Topps or that Panini card, is who autographs the last pick of the draft? Who comes up to him and says, "Hey man, sign this card"? Like, how do you
never
even
know?
But I guess, but they
That was
put it
definitely
in
a
there.
fluke. It was definitely
Yeah.
a fluke.
But it's almost like they did it on purpose. Like they knew something that everybody didn't know.
And now whoever has his cards is, I'm going to sit on this thing for a few years.
Yeah, exactly. Because who knows what's going to happen? Hall of Famer.
Let him win a Super Bowl this year. That card's price just skyrocketed through the roof
my God.
alone.
If he doesn't get hurt in the playoffs last year, has that card already skyrocketed? You know that there was, if the 49ers got past the Eagles, who are they bringing back? They were bringing somebody back.
Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers. Yeah. Did you hear about that?
I heard
They
about
had a
that.
contract ready for
They wouldn't have been
Phillip
able
Rivers.
to afford him and his kids tickets to the Super Bowl because he's
No, he's
Yeah.
got like
kids.
1,400 kids.
It was a done deal. It had somehow or another the 49ers got past Philadelphia. It was a done deal. They were going to have Phillip Rivers in California the next fucking day, and they were going to give him the playbook, and he was going to be the starting quarterback of the fucking Super Bowl.
Imagine
cool.
if Purdy didn't get hurt. He beat the Eagles and he beat
Yeah.
the Chiefs.
I
as the
agree.
Mr. Irrelevant winning a Super Bowl. Like
Yeah.
that would be the
His
most
rookie season. Yeah.
ESPN story I've ever heard of.
Honestly, I just think the universe was watching and pre-ejaculated and fucked us
It,
on the Brock
it,
Purdy thing.
it got
They
excited
loved
too
what they
fast.
were watching, and the universe got excited too and went, oh, and gave us
Just
what we
screwed it up.
got.
Yeah.
It would have been that would have been a documentary that on
Yeah.
site would have already been done.
30 for 30, fuck a whole new series, 90 for 90. 49ers go all the way.
Because how many Mr. Irrelevants actually get drafted and are within the first 2 years
How many of
doing
them
something,
even make a team?
like
Yeah.
do anything to this magnitude?
The closest story I think you had up until Brock Purdy was Tom Brady, and I think he was like 233 or some shit.
Yeah, he was
like
in
that.
the fifth or sixth round. I'd
Yeah,
say.
he was in the last round. He just wasn't the last pick.
But to be
right?
the last pick and have this type of
Right.
magnitude
Just
with
unreal.
no knowing of, I'm the third one. I'm third on the depth chart. There's no way
Yeah.
I'm ever going to see the field, let alone my rookie year. And
Right.
then you go on this ridiculous Cinderella run, and
I mean, he's
you
got the
get
same
guy
mindset.
that's the first overall pick in your team 2 years ago. You get him traded off,
Off,
and
yeah.
then you got another first overall pick as your backup.
Quietly, Bosa's sitting there not joining the team until he gets his fucking contract
A
again.
gigantic one at that.
Yeah. Yeah. He might not even be a 49er anymore. The
He got paid
scuttlebutt.
already.
Did he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
got
think
he
so,
just,
yeah.
it was like a couple hours ago. They just dropped out. I think it's like
Oh, thank God.
170
I'm
million
serious.
or
This
something like
morning I
that.
was reading it, and his own agent dropped a
He-
leak that made
Let
his
me
own
see what it
agent seem really
was.
good. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's got to be a boatload of money because
He got paid
his
100.
agent
It's
was,
170 million deal.
yeah, fuck yeah, he deserved it. He
I'm like,
deserved it.
he's top 3 defensive end, tackle, line, whatever you want to put him on. I'm like, he's gonna
Yeah,
eat.
definitely. Whew. Dallas favored at the Giants. You've
I
got
can see that.
Raiders at Broncos, and there's no
If
line for that one.
if Denver and Russell don't come out, and after that whole debacle that just happened, if they don't come out and ball out versus the Raiders, with the Raiders, what got Jimmy G behind center now?
Yeah, I think he might be hurt.
I don't think he fits that team. Where Jimmy G, when he was playing for New England and then for San Francisco, he could play, but they had playmakers too. But I just don't see him throwing it. How many times can you throw it to Devontae? Like 50?
Or even Jacobs. That's your only 2
Yeah,
power
just
weapons.
Hunter
over there, like,
Renfro. Hunter Renfro's pretty fucking
he's
good.
he's
pretty
a
solid.
solid
Yeah.
slot. I'm with
Solid.
you though. I just don't see Jimmy being the guy that. There's just no way that you think you're the guy with the Raiders structuring the contract that they have for him,
Yeah.
knowing that he could possibly be. I don't have my faith in him, because if you couldn't do it in San Francisco for multiple years,
Oh, from
barring
that
out
system?
injuries,
Yeah.
barring injuries in that system,
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's looking like a freaking genius over there right now. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy what a coaching staff can do. Honestly,
Sam
And-
Darnold reminded me of Wreck-It Ralph.
look at how many backup quarterbacks have gotten paid off of New England's fucking staff. Ryan Mallett, fucking
Brissett.
Castle.
Brissett, Matt Castle.
So
These
I'm
fuckers
like-
go. They don't just get paid; they get their own fucking team.
Like they're running it, but I just
for
don't
12
think.
days.
I don't think Jimmy G is going to be the savior for Raiders as they think they are.
So,
I can't see it.
So what has Jimmy G not done other than get hurt though?
He's
Because
going to have to show that in Oakland. I mean, in
I
Vegas.
think this is his time. Yeah. If he gets hurt again, are we looking at another Ryan Leaf minus the drugs?
I wouldn't put it that disrespectful, but it's disappointing because of the potential that he could have had. And again, in San Francisco, and even in New England, you're under 2 stellar coaches that can whisper to quarterbacks and make them look like superstars, and you couldn't do it with the talent that you are as a quarterback.
You mean like Nathaniel Hackett?
Basically.
Nathaniel Hackett.
So I'm
that's a quarterback whisperer there. That's Nathaniel Hackett.
Now, especially in Denver, do you really trust Russell to be the guy right now, even with Sean Payton? I can't see that marriage working out.
That motherfucker won't stop kissing babies. Look at
So I'm
you
like,
look at him in his uniform, he's
again,
halfway to politician. His belly's
Jimmy,
outside
listen,
that
just
bit.
as much as Jimmy has to show that he can be that guy, Russell now is on the biggest hot seat after the garbage that he was last year. Are
Yeah.
you that guy, or was what happened in Seattle again just a system quarterback?
I just don't trust the Raiders defense. So I'm going to go with the Broncos in that one. And Sean Payton. I just don't trust the Raiders defense.
How
I think
many
Sean
weeks?
Payton's smart enough.
What week of the season was it when Russell broke his toilet record?
I
He broke the record for 4 touchdown passes. They were holding that shit up at the stadium.
think that was like week 13, week 14, or
Yeah,
something
they-
like that.
dude,
It was ridiculous. That was
that's
actually a stat.
Oh yeah, that's embarrassing. They were holding the signs up, toilets on one, and then touchdown passes on the other
The fact
one.
that
at
you
the
have more
stadium.
toilets in your house than touchdown passes in the season is bad.
Yeah,
Wow. Let's ride. Holy shit.
I wonder how many of those shirts do you think he actually sold in the pro shop?
The Let's Ride shirts?
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
they
he
sold
is
a
running
shit
for
ton?
mayor. That dude will be mayor of Seattle or Denver. He just hasn't figured out which one he wants to
Oh.
be yet.
Somebody's
Denver,
voting
unless he
for
wins
him.
the Super Bowl. He's going back to Seattle.
Everybody loved him when he was in Wisconsin too. Like I thought he was going to be something special, and then all of a sudden he got to the NFL, and everybody found out he was a virgin, and they were like super weirded out by it.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me
Has Russell Wilson ever won a Super Bowl, or was it his defense? Because I think the only Super Bowl they have are because of the defense. It was never the or wait a minute, or it was the him
he
and
had a-
Marshawn Lynch. I think he
I
did.
think he played a factor in that game.
Yeah.
Enough
Wasn't
to-
he was in the MVP?
No, the linebacker. I think it was Irving that was
Yeah.
I think
The Legion. That was a Legion of Boom. Is that what that
Yeah.
was?
Well, yeah.
So the defense definitely played the bigger part in that Super Bowl.
Because does he have one or two?
He has one and lost the second one to New England because of that
Yeah.
stupid pass.
Yeah.
It was like talk about that pass.
But I understand the pass play too. But
you got Lynch.
Under what world do you throw it into the center of that defense when the whole world expected run? That means everyone was crashing in.
All they had to do was just toss a bag of Skittles in the end zone, and they would have had a
Marshawn would have leaped over that line for that bag of Skittles.
I still remember when I used to walk uphill both ways, but Marshawn Lynch breaking out on the scene and that fucking there being an earthquake in Seattle, and it was just that breakout touchdown run. What was it like
against the Saints?
Yeah,
In the playoffs, they were a 7-9 playoff team beating a 10-6 New Orleans Saints,
and that's fucked up because you're giving the Lions hope. That's fucked up.
Pretty soon there'll be a 6-win team that makes the playoffs. And
somebody has to.
Yeah, the Detroit Lions will probably be it.
It's going to be in the South, NFC South. Somebody's going to do it.
Are you saying it's going to be the Saints with freaking
Carr? Listen, it's either them or what's his name in Carolina.
So you got Derek Carr at the Saints with the Saints now.
Yeah.
God, man, how far have they fallen from Sean Payton and fucking Drew Brees?
Is Anthony Richardson going to be the starter? Did they name him the starter?
Oh yeah. I was just about to bring up Trevor Lawrence versus Anthony Richardson. Jags
I was going to say that
Colts, 12 p.m. Eastern.
If you want to see exciting, young, athletic football players, that is going to be the football game to watch. There might be some crazy shit going on in that game.
If you want to see how big of an idiot Jim Irsay is, definitely watch the fucking Jaguars versus Colts, because that dude is a baller and he should be somewhere that's going to turn him into a superstar. And instead, we're going to have to find a broken ass Michael Jordan afterwards. Just pissed.
I don't understand what's happening in Indianapolis right now. Like that whole organization.
Is he just that far out of the loop as far as like sports go? He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Like
it feels like it.
He's trying to recreate Peyton Manning, but even Peyton Manning had a really shitty year.
For a few years.
Yeah,
but it's. You're throwing this kid into a fire that he's not built for just yet. And it's not saying that he doesn't have the potential to be a superstar quarterback in this league. But right now, the way that Indianapolis is set up, he is not going to be successful with that roster right now.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor.
You got his Michael Pittman as your top receiver. You don't have a tight end. Your defense is in question. Like, what do you have?
You're breaking him.
It's like you're doing Andrew Luck all over again.
Yeah. It makes
just
no
more
sense
athletically faster.
Right. Yeah. Way
I
faster.
think as much as Peyton Manning was the godsend of the Colts, I think he was ultimately the antichrist of the Colts also, because Jim Irsay can't get
The
Peyton
expectations
Manning's.
up here.
Yeah, it's like Jim Irsay's still got a little bit of Peyton in his throat, and he just wants to get more, and he can't figure that out. I don't know.
You're using drugs that you can't use anymore. Those are non-existent.
Absolutely. Fuck you. Everybody gets addicted after a while, bro. Figure it out, Jim. Fuck.
Jim.
So then you've
I
got
need
the
you to get with the
Texans at the Ravens. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, I'm scared of the Texans, to be honest, in a weird,
Yeah.
jacked up kind of way.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with the Ravens because
Yeah.
it's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I've got Odell on my team as a flex.
This
He's
could
gonna
be the
catch
year.
two touchdowns this week one. 2 touchdowns week one. I'm telling you. Comeback player of the year, Odell Beckham Jr.
Charles has this fixation with Odell coming back and being something this year. I mean, it's Lamar and he's going to get him the football, but the fact that you drafted the dude not last round, like, I don't even think, what is the percentage on him being even in leagues?
In my mind, 100%.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know how many games he's going to be able to physically perform in.
I'm not gonna lie. I am
16.
an Odell Beckham fan.
Yeah.
And will always be an Odell
I'm
Beckham
a
fan.
Yeah, I'm a
However,
fan.
Yeah.
this man done tore his leg up 3 times. I feel, and it's not that he doesn't have it, because he didn't tear his ACL again in that Super Bowl. He would have been clear Super Bowl MVP because he was on his way.
Yeah, and I was watching all them videos of his training camp last year.
You
Yeah,
hyped yourself up for the pick, and it's not like he was going after Justin Jefferson.
But does the hype equate to the actual fact? Is he going to be an ounce of what the old L? And I'm not counting against him, but to fantasize that this man is going to, even for fantasy football, going to give you
where I got him, I thought was where I got
Charles.
him was a steal. Where I got him was a steal. He's the 181st ranked fantasy player this year.
That's so bizarre to hear
Charles.
That's what I'm saying. In the round that I picked him in, he was like, I didn't scroll down, but maybe
he was waiting for you right there.
He was just right there. Were there other people I could have picked? I don't
Charles,
know.
I have
We'll
a question.
see.
I have one question. Are you starting him?
Yeah, he's in
Oh
my
my God! Are you
yeah, you goddamn right. I start
the world coming to an end. Let's wrap this up.
Odell Beckham Jr., man, you can't not start OBJ.
Now, is he your flex or is he 1 or 2?
Flex. No, he's
all right.
He's
okay.
flex. Yeah. He's
got
on a short rope. He is on a short.
You get one game.
rope.
You're on a week-to-week basis, sir.
Yeah, and honestly, he's where he is right now because they're playing the Texans.
I'm expecting screenshots throughout the season and then little videos from you bitching about how bad you hate it that you've drafted him.
I don't want to hear
one way or another. I'm getting these videos out. How much I love him or how much I hate him.
I swear, if he gets him half a point, he's gonna throw the biggest bitch fit that ever mankind.
Oh, you'll see it on his Facebook for sure. Like, he'll be all over it.
Yeah, because I'm only projected right now to win by 3 or 4 points. So if Odell don't at least get me 10, I'm fucked.
Father God.
He's just got this. When he gets something in his head, it's like he was pissed. Who are you going to draft that you got irritated at?
Oh, dude, Romeo Dobbs. I had Dobbs on my fucking board, like ready to go. And like
the dude picked it right in front of him.
It was an auto pick, right?
Yeah.
So this really
when they do that.
And this fucked me, dude. It was the only auto pick I had.
Well,
so old boy picked him.
Yeah.
And then so I just sat there on the clock, and all of a sudden I hear boop, boop, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And a couple rounds before I picked up Pachenko. My auto draft pick gave me fucking McKinnon.
Did you just say Pacheco?
Yeah,
Pacheco.
There's no end.
yeah, there is. Because he's gonna be all the way in. All right, it's Pacheco.
You know who you're talking about.
So it's Pacheco. But anywho, now I've got Kansas City's running back 1 and 2. So I've got Zeke Elliott on the bench, and I'm like, he's gonna score touchdowns for fucking Belichick. That's what I'm hoping for, but I don't have a lot of faith in it. So he's sitting on the bench week 1.
Yeah.
And watch, Odell's going to give him 4 points, and Zeke's going to have 15 points on the bench.
Yeah. Fuck.
Oh, they're
Zeke will be doing so much. Fucking what's his face is going to throw him in there on the kick return. He's going to have a punt return for a touchdown too. I don't even understand that. It's the Belichick way.
Listen.
Any other? You got the Bills and Jets on Monday. I really hope the Bills come out and just mop the floor with the Jets.
I'm expecting it to be a freaking bloodbath as far as the defense goes. I don't think that he's going to be running for his life against that.
I was going to say,
is Miller back? Is he back from injury yet? Is he clear?
I actually, you know what? I just had the game up.
While you're looking that up, I just want to make one really quick point. The New York fucking Jets did nothing on their offensive line. And their offensive line,
as far as upgrading it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And their offensive line, in my opinion, has been their weakest point that you don't have, but you have less than 2.4 seconds with that offensive line. You're not going to be doing
Aaron
much.
should be used to it.
Yeah. Young Aaron was used to it. Aaron, the last few years, had one of the best offensive lines in the game. He had a top 10.
Yeah.
He had a top 10 offensive line for the last couple of years. And that's why he was able to do what he did.
He's not playing. Did you know who had the best offensive
quarterback
line?
in the world? Yeah.
Do you know who had the best offensive line in football last year?
The Cincinnati Bengals?
No. The Cincinnati Bengals.
No, they didn't.
The Detroit Lions did. They gave up the fewest sacks. Yeah. They almost broke the NFL. They almost broke the NFL record for least amount of sacks given up in a season. I think they gave up like 14 or 15.
And they didn't get worse in the draft.
No.
Yeah. It's that artificial turf. I don't think it was the Lions defense at all. I think that artificial turf stopped teams from blitzing. Look how many people got hurt last year. Von Miller, he went out. Reggie Bush,
they got two like Hall of Fame potential offensive linemen. Like Penny Sewell is going to freaking be a Hall of Famer.
He is the anchor for that line right now.
The Detroit Lions have a really good offensive line, and they're going to open up a lot of holes for that running back. That running back's going to do good. The offense,
as much as I miss Montgomery, he was still a workhorse when he got open and he was able to get those holes in the line whenever they appeared, which was few far in between.
Yeah, see, I've got Justin Fields as my freaking fantasy quarterback because I like to double dip as far as the rushing touchdowns.
Like it's the legit option.
Yeah, I've got Jalen Hurts, so
I got really Patrick Mahomes. So
you got Patty, see, yeah,
Patty. We all got athletic running quarterbacks. There you go.
I'm gonna eat either way.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Yeah, I just don't think. I think this is the Bills' shit or get off the pot season. They're going to come out hot. If not, Stephon Diggs will be traded before the year's over.
Yeah,
I pretty much guarantee that.
I think we've all been waiting for the Bills to do something at this point. It's been it's this year and then it's
because what their excuse was last year was that his arm was hurt. Quarterbacks, he had a weak arm or he was sore or some shit.
Stop running with the ball and leading with your shoulders so fucking much, idiot. You're a quarterback. Not a trucking linebacker.
A franchise quarterback, and you've got him running as much as he is. And he's white, dude. Hold up. You should not be trying to bowl people over.
Yeah, this is my thing. As a quarterback, I get it. You're athletic. Yeah. Whether you're white, black, whatever. You're an athletic quarterback, and you can move. Congratulations. I understand. But as the most important position on your team offensively, stay your ass in the pocket.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to be here for 10,
you make your offensive
years.
line look worse at times when you scramble more often than you have to.
Do you have to run? Fine. I get it. Run. Justin Fields, he had no choice to run because ain't nobody was blocking his tail. So he had to run for his life. But if you got
we're coming up to that game here just after
you can block. And I know that Allen can stay in the pocket. You don't have to scramble all the time.
No.
You have Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs that could do enough to get you the ball out there. This guy.
Speaking of running quarterbacks, did you see the hit that JT Daniels took in the Florida State game?
Bro, he got laid out on his ass.
Dude, did you see? It looked like he hurdled over a defender. Like he was walking on top of him. Yeah. He got freaking, he went like this. It was like this. Boom. And he was like,
he disappeared. He went into the ground.
I thought Les Miles with that Southern draw was going to get him through that. I really did. I'm not going to lie.
It did not work out the way he thought it was going to work out.
The other college controversy too. Did you see Dabo and his quarterback not connecting on the high five on the sideline?
I think people are reading too much into that. It's not that serious. I'm not gonna bench my I'm not gonna bench my quarterback because he didn't want to give me a high five. He's pissed. He just got blown out.
Yeah, I'm sitting him. I'm sitting him. I'm sitting him on Thursday.
Yeah, we're Michigan fans. We're not big Kirk Cousins fans because he was Michigan State quarterback. But Charles and I do have to entertain ourselves and laugh every now and then when this dude's wearing a helmet on the sidelines, like cheering on his teammates, and everybody's looking at him like making memes out of him. Nobody knows what the hell he's doing.
He's like the ultimate football guy, man. I'm telling you, like
that. You like
that dude's spoon in the morning is a football, right? He eats a cereal with a fucking football spoon. I promise you.
Did you see the QB documentary and about how his wife dresses him?
Awesome. One less thing to think about. I tell my wife to dress me all the time.
Dude, that's weird.
It's the way she dresses him, and I'm like, I told my wife, I was like, babe, I swear on life, if you ever dress me like this.
What did she do? Put him in like
stripes and plaids and sir, what are we going to 8th grade dance or something? What are we doing?
Like, all right, let's go to picture day.
It basically is a picture day.
Every day is picture day in the Cousins family.
There's no way you let your wife do this. All this money y'all got, you can at least buy something.
You know, I mean,
yeah, you could have wardrobe at home.
Simplicity is him. He is the most simplistic, happy person on the planet. Are you kidding me?
He is delusional.
Yeah, for sure. But I think Gardner Minshew now is out. Kirk Cousins is in when it comes to the best mustache in the NFL. My vote is Kirk Cousins, the wife dresser.
The wife dresser.
I hate it. I hate that name.
I hate that too. Yes, we can agree on one thing. Here we go.
All right, the big game, the one everyone's going to talk about come Monday. The Jordan Love versus Justin Fields.
Is literally the epitome of a pick 'em. They got the Bears at home by a point. It's funny, but
really,
yeah.
Do the Bears take back the keys to their home Sunday?
I'll leave you with that.
I've witnessed so much massacre in my life when it comes to this game.
Yeah,
that I just talked to this on the show a few weeks ago. The thing that irritates me about this whole scenario when it comes to the Jordan Love Justin Field comparison is we're so quick to just discredit Jordan Love. And it's not saying that he sucks or anything like that, but we as Bears fans don't have shit to stand on. Yeah. We were literally 3-14 last year. We have nothing to stand on. Am I optimistic? Absolutely, because we drafted an offensive tackle. Granted, that doesn't help the whole line, but hey, we got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
there's
light at the end of the tunnel. Finally,
right. We got him a number one weapon. We have a solid running back team. Our defensive is looking great, but at the end of the day, I'm not ready to put all my eggs in the basket just yet. I need to see how this team runs together before I just Green Bay can suck my toe.
Yeah. On paper, I think Green Bay edges Chicago just a little bit. I think defensively we have less gaps. And I think that might be what it comes down to. Although historically, Green Bay has not been able to stop a quarterback that moves outside of the pocket. So
I feel like y'all secondary's always been questioned.
Yeah.
Ours is more in question, I feel like, now, because we have a lot of new faces on defense, like a lot of new faces. And my heart wants to say Bears, maybe by 3 or 4, but it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
I could see Green Bay losing by an extra point or a field goal because of our new kicker.
Because of the kicker.
Because of our new kicker. Yeah, I can see that Chicago is not a fucking place to play. It's not a place to kick your first NFL fucking field goal.
What if that's why there's a 1-point dog? Wouldn't that be something if they literally would be banking on a missed extra
point? If we sign Mason Crosby and the next day we're 3-point favorites, so be it.
Sign me up.
Sign him. Sign him.
It's not gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be a very low scoring game. Maybe 21 points, 21,
Yeah.
17, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
I can see 21 points being the total scored between the
I
two
wouldn't be
teams.
surprised.
I would not be shocked. I'm thinking early 90s football. We're looking at a defensive punch in the mouth.
And what's going to make it even funnier is because since it's the game of the week or the game of the day for the
Yeah.
4 o'clock slot or the 3 o'clock slot, depending where you're at, everybody's watching you.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
now you got the two young quarterbacks taking over the franchises, leading them into a new generation. What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Because depending on where you are in the country, you'll get Green Bay, Chicago, or Philadelphia, or I'm sorry, LA, Seattle. So I'm guessing the LA, Seattle is going to be more West Coast, but
Probably. But
they're both scheduled to be on Fox.
yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I'm going to pick my Bears just because it's naturally I'm stupid.
Not stupid, but
But I can't bet against Justin Fields the way that he performed last year and now that he actually has weapons because I'm tired of people saying that he can't pass. Because if you didn't watch him in Ohio State, the man can throw.
yeah. I watched
Like,
him. We got to watch him a lot.
We have to watch him a few fucking times.
So
Yeah.
it's hard to say that somebody can't throw when there's nobody to throw to. And so
Nobody
now
was
that you-
catching the fucking ball. And I mean,
That
they
part.
did. They did. They ended up getting that dude from Carolina for
Yes, they
got
literally
Moore.
DJ Moore. They got
DJ
Mooney.
Moore.
They got a
So-
decent
Bag up
tight
the
got
end.
minutes they
St.
got that dude
Brown.
for.
I'm like, we have a solid people now that can open up the
Yeah.
floor to where it can work. And now the pressure is definitely on Justin Fields to.
I was going to say, now it's not. Now
There's
it's
no
on Fields.
excuses. There's
Yep.
definitely no excuses.
Get him the ball or throw it away. Do not throw it to the defense because we're
Please
going to
don't.
catch it. We'll catch
Here-
it. That's Green Bay is going to be. I think this is going to be one of those years we remember in Green Bay for the interceptions too. There's a lot of people catching that ball. Valentine catching that fucking ball good. It's crazy.
It's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna have the guys over on Sunday too. So my brother, all our friends, we're gonna sit down and watch the game and see who's not gonna cry after the game's over.
That's
Right, well,
fantastic.
Charles will be bragging if they win. But if Odell doesn't score him a touchdown and get at least 10 points, he's going to be bitching about that. So
I will
one
probably
way.
bitch about that every 15 minutes. And because I'm a fanatic when it comes
Where's my
to
touchdown?
I'm a fanatic when it comes to our football league. I'm also a fanatic when it comes to football gear. And some of the best gear I find is on fanatics.com.
There's your plug. Yeah,
I see what you did there. I
Yeah.
see what you did there.
Yeah, nice.
They've got a killer deal going on. Go check out the website. I'm telling you, you guys will not be upset. Fanatics.com. That's fanatics.
24 code 24 ship.
Fanatics.com. Hey, man, listen, let's shoot out a little plug here. That was great. I love football. I'm so glad football's back. But let's give you the floor and just let everyone know where we could find you and anything new coming up.
Me? Are you talking about me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, little old me.
Yeah.
It's just the Heat Check podcast. You can find it anywhere as it is on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Spotify, everything. And we have a link tree on our Instagram. It has our merch. We're starting off merch. We're new. We just started this a few months ago. We just two guys trying to get in there and have fun. We're bored. We're retired. And we like sports and we like wrestling, UFC, all that jazz. And also just like talking shit.
Oh, fantastic.
Perfect. Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's just, we're just passing times. I appreciate you guys having me here for one, man.
We had a lot of
It's
fun.
been fun. I want to also extend the invitation to you guys over to come hang with us and shoot the shit with us sometimes whenever you guys have a chance.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
you guys are great.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it. This has been such a good time. We love people. We love having new guests. We love our followers. We love our listeners. Even those of you with those really special comments about stuff that nobody listens or watches us. It's fantastic
Yeah.
because you did when you went to look to see if anybody else was. So all I can tell you then is to smile more. You never know who needs to see you.